In the recent Alabama Senate election that the Republican candidate, Judge Roy Moore, narrowly lost to a liberal Democrat, a lot of the Republican establishment is rushing to the microphones to lay the blame at the feet of Steve Bannon and conservatives. Actually, that's a projection, because they are the ones that are responsible for the defeat, because it's establishment Republicans that did either one of two things. They were not engaged, they sat on their hands, or they actively opposed Judge Roy Moore and withheld money, so that the people who caused the defeat are now saying that it's Steve Bannon and the conservatives that are responsible for the defeat. No, it's those Republicans who will refuse in not only this election, but election after election, where the nominee of the Republican Party is a conservative. They sit on their hands or actively oppose the conservative. But when a establishment, moderate Republican, is the nominee, they expect the conservatives to support their candidate, and we invariably do. But there was a failure of the Republican leaders. It was a failure of them to produce the money necessary to win. The Democrat candidate in Alabama outraised the Republican candidate 5-1. So for every dollar Judge Roy Moore had, the Democrat had $5. The Republicans failed to nationalize the campaign, and quite frankly, that perhaps should be laid at the feet of the Moore campaign. It was their job to nationalize the campaign. And Republicans and conservatives almost never win elections unless they are nationalized. Republicans, conservatives deal with big pictures, the world's security, taxes, spending, border control. And the Democrats are a deliverer of services, and they deal with the local politics. And as long as elections are local, Republicans invariably lose. So Republicans, under the leadership of the Moore campaign, failed to nationalize the campaign. They had very little ground game. The Democrats had a powerful ground game, and doing a lot of mailings and leaving literature at people's homes is not comparable to a good ground game. So there are many, many reasons for the failure. All can be corrected going forward. Also, I think this is an indication of something that President Trump and other conservative leaders nationally, and the Republican leaders in the Congress at the state and local level, need to be focused on what is the primary base of the Republican Party, and it is the conservatives, and it is the social conservatives, it is economic conservatives. And we need to be focused on growing the conservative movement, because that is the base, quite frankly, of Republican electoral victories. So the president, under his leadership, needs to do more to grow the conservative movement, to grow the base of the conservative cause, because without that, the president can't carry elections by himself. We saw that in Alabama. He lost the primary, and then in the general election, his candidate lost. So he needs to do more to focus on building the conservative movement, which will then strengthen the ground game. And third thing, lesson that we know coming out of this election, is that we need to do a better job of branding the Democrats. The Democrats have done a marvelous job for at least the last 80 years or so of branding the Republicans as the party of rich, Wall Street, big business, trickle-down economics, and they have been the party of the working men and women. That's no longer true, but we've not done a good job of branding the Democrats as being a special interest party, as being opposed to border control, national security. They're weak on national security. They favor high taxes, out-of-control spending. They are becoming an anti-religious party. They're anti-God, anti-Christian, anti-Catholic. And those issues are not being communicated to the American public. So we all, as conservatives, need to be thinking about how we can brand the Democrats as the party that they are, of failed, corrupt, big government. This is Richard Viguerie, and I'm fed up, and I hope you will join with me and other conservatives to come together and support conservative candidates in the primaries, because remember, it is the primary stupid. And you can join me and be effective at your local or state level at fedup.org. Look forward to working with you in the primaries.